What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So we got some great news as the WBO, World Boxing Organization, and undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the WBO welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the top pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, and Terence Bud Crawford, has been ordered by the WBO to face two-time welterweight world champion superstar boxer Showtime Shawn Porter. With that said, this is great news, as Terence Crawford hasn't had a high-profile fight against a future Hall of Famer or a legacy fight, dare I say. So Terence Crawford, 37 wins, no losses, no draws, 27 wins by way of knockout. He's 33 years of age, standing 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. Last time we saw him in the ring was November 14th when he took on defeated former IBF welterweight world champion British superstar boxer Special K Kell Brook. This is a fight that the fans and the boxing public have been calling for between Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford. And Shawn Porter has expressed his interest in making this fight happen with Terence Crawford. And Terence Crawford has been showing reluctant to make this fight happen with Shawn Porter because Terence Crawford had been seeking a showdown and a massive legacy fight against 8-division world champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. But he's been seeking that fight for the better part of 5 to 6 years. And his promoter, legendary promoter, top-ranked CEO and promoter, longtime promoter Terence Crawford, Bob Arum, top-ranked, and ESPN, in which the network he fights on, they have not been eager to make this fight because they feel as if they won't get a return on their investment. So they've been seeking investment groups outside of their company, their promotional company, to be able to foot the bill for Terence Crawford versus Manny Pacquiao. As Manny Pacquiao, we know he wants $20 to $25 million. We heard that and reports that there was an investment group in Abu Dhabi, according to Bob Arum, that was willing to put up the money, $50 million, which saw Manny Pacquiao get $40 million, Terence Crawford get $10 million, and Terence Crawford was happy with that split, according to Bob Arum. But then the investment group in Abu Dhabi, they pulled out of the fight. And Bob Arum, he stated that he was unwilling, nor was Top Rank or ESPN willing to put up the guaranteed purses for Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford. It was supposed to be for June 5th. And we saw Manny Pacquiao now is going to fight Terence Crawford's biggest rival, in undefeated unified WBC IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top 3 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, in Earl the Truth Spence Jr. So, with that said, Earl Spence has now secured the Manny Pacquiao fight, and Earl Spence, he took to social media and he told Terence Crawford, #blame Bob. Why? Because we know Bob Arum is on record saying that he prevented the fight from happening for Terence Crawford, because for 2 reasons. For one, Manny Pacquiao is a close friend of his. He know how the fight went in, and he didn't want to see Manny Pacquiao get hurt. And for 2, he said that it's not worth the financial disc game for Top Rank and ESPN. So he blocked the fight. And he let it be known that Terence Crawford, he lost so much money on Terence Crawford, he could build a mansion in Beverly Hills from scratch. So it's abundantly clear Bob Arum, Top Rank, they have no interest in making a mega fight for Terence Crawford. Now, again, Bob Arum was asked about a showdown between Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter. And Bob Arum says that he wouldn't pay Shawn Porter more than $1 million or $2 million to get a deal done, because nobody is going to put the money up for this fight. So he says that if there was somebody else willing to put the money up for Shawn Porter, Terence Crawford, he would be happy to do it. If it went to a purse bid, he would be happy to allow PBC, Premier Boxing Champions founder and advisor Al Heyman, who advises Shawn Porter, to fit the bill, to be accountable for the purses, okay? We also know he stated that for Terence Crawford, a fight with former unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman, we know Bob Arum also stated that if he could find a promoter and an investment group willing to put up the money for a Keith Thurman Terence Crawford fight, he would buy a ticket, make sure he's ringside to watch them lose money. Wow. So he has no trust. He has no belief that Terence Crawford is a big draw. And so here, Terence Crawford, he told Shawn Porter on two separate occasions, according to Shawn Porter. In August, he told Shawn Porter, you have to sit and wait. If my plans fall through, I'll revisit the possibility of fighting you. That plans was Manny Pacquiao. He didn't revisit the possibility of fighting him. That was in August of 2020. And he instead fought Kell Brook in November, right? Almost, what is that? 4 or 5 months later, okay? And now, after Kell Brook, Shawn Porter took to social media and said, the fans are hungry for this fight. Let's feed them at Terence Crawford at Top Rank. Let's make it happen. And Terence Crawford responded by saying, now you're pushing my buttons. Just stay on standby. And if things fall through again, I'll revisit the possibility of fighting you. Well, those plans with Manny Pacquiao fell through again. And it doesn't look like Shawn Porter was in the plans. So, Shawn Porter, 31 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 17 wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age himself, 5'7" with a 69-inch arm reach. Last time we saw him in the ring was August of 2020 when he took on defeated Sebastian Familia, unanimous decision. So, Shawn Porter became the #1 WBO mandatory challenger for Terence Crawford, and it seems like the WBO was going to order it. But in a shocking turn of events, after undefeated rising Mexican superstar title contender Virgil Ortiz Jr. beat former WBO junior welterweight world champion superstar boxer Maurice Mighty Mo Hooker, they switched positions. Shawn Porter, because Virgil Ortiz Jr. was #2 on the WBO ranking system, Shawn Porter was 1, making him the mandatory challenger. But suddenly after that fight, they switched them, and Virgil Ortiz was 1. So everybody in the boxing world expected Virgil Ortiz Jr. to be the challenger for Terence Crawford. But now the WBO, they decided, well, Terence Crawford is going to sit on the shelf, and he's just looking to fight any and everybody that's not named or the top 5 welterweights in the division, and the WBO no longer wants to sit by and allow this to take place, regardless of what Bob Arum is saying. So now the WBO has come out, and they let it be known that Terence Crawford is going to have to fight Shawn Porter now, and they got 30 days to get an agreement, or it's going to go to a purse bid, which would see Terence Crawford get 60% of the purse bid. So anybody, Triller could come in and bid like they did with Teofimo Lopez. Same scenario. We had undefeated lightweight unified world champion superstar boxer who was the WBC franchise champion. Some may call him undisputed. Teofimo Lopez with his IBF mandatory and undefeated Australian star boxer George Kambosos Jr. That went to a purse bid because Bob Arum wasn't willing to put up the money, nor was Top Rank or ESPN, for a fight with George Kambosos Jr. and Teofimo Lopez. It went to purse bid. Bob Arum didn't like the fight. He said George Kambosos Jr. is just not a good fight. He don't see it going past 4 rounds. And he didn't feel the need to want to put up big money for it. So it went to purse bid. And Bob Arum, he said he believes that Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos Jr. were in cahoots to get as much money as possible, as they should be. And what took place is Bob Arum, they bid $2.3 million. And then you had Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn come out of the blue and bid $3.2 million, more than Top Rank, for the fight, to stage the fight on DAZN. But then in a whopping turn of events, Triller came out of nowhere, a newfound streaming app, and they bid $6 million. So the highest bidder picked up the fight. And here you have the same situation. But this is a higher profile fight than Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos Jr. So now, anybody could come in and bid $10 million for this fight. And Bob Arum loses the fight. And he only gets the percentage from Terence Crawford that he normally would get. So now, this is a shocking change of events, okay? So anybody can pick up this fight at this point in time if they can't come to an agreement, which I doubt that they'll come to agreement because Bob Arum is not willing to put up big money for Shawn Porter. So they're not going to negotiate and actually come to a common ground with Shawn Porter because Shawn Porter already is on record saying that he's worth more than $1 to $2 million for a fight with Terence Crawford. So Bob Arum is not willing to do so. There's nothing going to change there. So they won't come up with agreement in the next 30 days. So that means it'll go to a purse bid, and now it's a free fall. Okay, you can have Eddie Hearn and DAZN come in and bid on the fight. You can have Triller once again come in and bid on this fight. You can have anybody who's who somebody bid on this fight. Okay, so Shawn Porter, he finally responds to all of the talk and all of the reports, and Shawn Porter says this is a shocking change of events. He didn't see this coming. Quote, he didn't see this coming, but he's excited for it. This is what he wanted. This was his number one objective, and he says, I stay ready. Hashtag Shawn Porter versus Terence Crawford. Hashtag Team Porter. Hashtag the best fighting the best. And he let it be known, this is what I wanted all along. So let's make it happen. I don't have to get ready because I stay ready. End quote. So Shawn Porter finally responds to the reports and the WBO putting this information out there. This is great news. So I can't wait to see how this unfolds and plays out. Shawn Porter was expecting to not get this Terence Crawford fight because Shawn Porter, he said he told his dad, my number one and only objective is to get Terence Crawford fight. And he said his father, trainer, and manager, Kenny Porter, told Shawn Porter, Bob Arum, he inquired, he sat down with Bob, and doesn't seem like they're willing to make this fight. So you're going to have to stay busy, look to fight again. He was supposed to fight in July or earlier, have an announcement. He said he was going to have an announcement last Tuesday. And, he wasn't happy and he wasn't willing to just fight anybody. So Shawn Porter, he said he understood that he had to stay busy. But his number one objective was Terence Crawford. And Kenny Porter said he sat down with Bob Arum and Terence Crawford's team, and it didn't seem like they were eager to make the fight. Shawn Porter said he was deflated. But now Shawn Porter's going to get what he was looking for, and I can't wait to see how this unfolds and plays out. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.